Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Okay, so let's talk about the Star Wars Galaxy Guide, short stories. Once again, West End Games created a bunch of little short stories. Were they good? Were they bad? I don't know. Either way, they are very creative and imaginative, and that's what I enjoy about them. Now, the next short story I want to talk about is called A Droid's Eye View. It's basically R2-D2's account of his time on Dagobah. It's not much, and I kind of wish it would have been more, like the scene where he's kind of out stuck in the rain and stuff. And it does mention him going underwater, kind of, getting eaten by the sea monster, spit out, being full of gunk, which is interesting. But to be honest, they could have made that a much comical story and a much more enjoyable story. Like I said, great idea, but this time the execution could have been just a little better. The next one is called Meeting the Dark Lord. Basically, it's Lando's account of his first encounter with Lord Vader. Again, great idea, but they missed the mark on this little short story. We should see more fear, more ominous, more like, whoa, I didn't know Vader was that tall, or that menacing. Or whenever Lando's around him, he gets weak in the knees, or maybe sick at his stomach, just because of the Lord Vader's imposing presence. I would have liked to have heard about that. You didn't hear as much. Maybe Lando's just being brave. I mean, he was worried because he knew this Dark Lord meant business and everything. But again, like I said, great idea, just not the best execution. The next short story is called Little Lost Girl, and it stars Alania Jakin as she is playing around through some Ugnaught passageways. She may even be playing with some children Ugnaughts. And then Lando gives the evacuation call on the speaker system, and now she has to get away. She has to find her parents. She can get off Cloud City. But it's in a sea of panicked Cloud City members who are just trying to get out of the way, and she can't find her parents. Now, this short story was actually 2 pages long. I'm so happy that they dedicated 2 pages to this instead of the little half-page or 1-page blurb, because it was actually interesting. It's intriguing to hear about other characters and what they were experiencing through the events of Empire Strikes Back. Because a lot of us, the Bespin evacuation, oh well, we know it happened, we saw it in the movie, but all those people running around, now sure, you could probably point out, if there was a little girl in there, you could point out and say, that's her. I don't think that was the point though. I think the point was, they said, put yourself in their shoes. What would it be like if you were in Cloud City and Lando says the Empire has taken over, you need to evacuate immediately? You'd be in a panic too, right? Whether you have something to hide or not. That's why you came to Cloud City, to get away from the Empire. So I like the idea. And again, this is very unique. There's a comic book, I cannot remember the name, Alex Ross drew it, I remember, where it doesn't focus on superheroes, even though they're around this world. It focuses on the regular people and how the lives of superheroes impact them. And I always thought that was interesting. But you know what? West End Games was running with this idea years before that comic book came out. And so that the idea that they said, hey, you know what would a regular person do in this Cloud City crisis? I think I have an idea. And it worked. And it was very interesting to read too. And this one was surprisingly very interesting, a very good idea. Not much. Like I said, it's only 2 pages long. I'm not trying to build this up into a masterpiece. But still, fantastic idea and fantastic short story by West End Games. The last one I want to talk about is called Dark Voyage to Tatooine. Basically, it focuses on Boba Fett lifting off from Bespin and making his way to Tatooine to sell Han Solo into Jabba. Now, of course, this is kind of crossing into Shaz the Empire territory, because we do later on know that he is hijacked on his way there by other bounty hunters trying to stop him or steal his bounty. But this takes place before all that. It's basically him just taking off saying, whoa, what a mess. What was going on there? Jeez, I got to get this guy to Jabba. I'm on my way. Here we go. I'm going to make my money and then split and go somewhere else. Not much of a story, but could have been. It's kind of a precursor to the story that we read about later on when we talk about Shaz the Empire. Overall, though, Little Lost Girl, obviously my favorite one. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. See you next time with another video.